If you've ever seen a blue banana online, chances are it was a blue Java. At first glance, it looks photoshopped. The peel develops a pale silver blue color while the fruit matures. But it's completely real. Blue Java bananas are believed to have originated in Southeast Asia before spreading throughout the Pacific Islands and eventually reaching places like Hawaii. The fruit itself is softer than the supermarket bananas most people know, and the flavor is what made it famous. Many people describe it as tasting like vanilla ice cream, not because it's artificially flavored, but because its natural sweetness combines with subtle vanilla-like notes and an unusually creamy texture. What most people don't realize is that blue Java is also more cold-tolerant than many banana varieties, which means it can survive in climates where other bananas struggle. But if a blue banana sounds unusual, the next one looks even less real. The pink velvet banana looks like something created by a toy company. Its fruit develops inside bright pink fuzzy pods, and when the pods open, they reveal small bananas surrounded by vivid pink flesh. Native to parts of Southeast Asia, this variety is often grown more for appearance than for food production. The bananas themselves contain many hard seeds, far more than the seedless bananas sold commercially today. That makes them less practical to eat, but incredibly fascinating to look at. This is where things get interesting, because the bananas most people eat today are actually the exception. For thousands of years, bananas contained large seeds. The smooth, seedless bananas in supermarkets only became dominant through selective cultivation. And that brings us to a banana that looks completely different from anything most people expect. Most bananas grow separated from each other. Praying hands. Bananas don't. Their fruits fuse together in tightly packed clusters that resemble two hands pressed together in prayer. Hence the name. Originally cultivated in parts of Indonesia and the Philippines, this variety has become popular among collectors and gardeners. The texture is firmer than a Cavendish banana. The flavor is less sweet. Some people compare it to a mixture of banana and vanilla with subtle citrus notes. But here's what makes it unique. Many people don't eat it raw at all. Instead, it is often grilled, fried, or cooked into savory dishes, which highlights something most people never think about. In many parts of the world, bananas aren't considered dessert. They're considered a staple food, and few bananas demonstrate that better than the next one. At first glance, Fe'i bananas seem almost wrong. They grow pointing upward instead of hanging downward. Their skin often develops bright orange or reddish colors, and the flesh inside can range from yellow to deep orange. These bananas have been cultivated across Polynesia for centuries, long before European explorers arrived. Unlike dessert bananas, Fe'i bananas are typically cooked before eating. The texture becomes dense and rich, almost like a sweet potato. What most people don't realize is that some Fe'i varieties contain extremely high levels of beta-carotene, the same nutrient that gives carrots their orange color. In some Pacific communities, they were historically an important source of nutrition. And while Fe'i bananas look strange, the next variety may be the most intimidating banana on Earth. The name makes sense immediately. These bananas can grow astonishingly long, sometimes reaching more than 2 feet in length. Their curved shape resembles a rhinoceros horn. Native to East Africa, rhino horn bananas are part of a group known as East African highland bananas. For millions of people, these aren't novelty fruits. They're everyday food. Some varieties are steamed, others are mashed, others are fermented into traditional beverages. This is where things get interesting. In countries like Uganda, bananas aren't just popular. They're among the most important foods in the entire country. The average person may consume hundreds of pounds of banana products every year, a scale that would surprise most Western audiences. But while rhino horn bananas impress through size, the next variety stands out because of color. Most people have seen yellow bananas their entire lives. Then, they encounter a red banana. and suddenly everything looks unfamiliar. Red bananas develop reddish-purple skins and slightly pinkish flesh. They are grown throughout parts of Asia, Central America, South America, and East Africa. The flavor differs noticeably from standard bananas. Many people detect hints of raspberry, berry candy, or even mango. The texture is softer and creamier. What most people don't realize is that red bananas often contain higher levels of certain antioxidants than common yellow varieties. Their unusual color comes from pigments that help protect the fruit. But if red bananas look unusual, the next one looks almost impossible. The manzano is often called the apple banana, and after one bite, it's easy to understand why. These bananas are much shorter than standard supermarket bananas, but they pack a surprisingly complex flavor. Instead of tasting purely sweet, many people describe notes of apple, strawberry, and tropical fruit. The variety is especially popular throughout Central and South America. Unlike commercial bananas bred primarily for shipping, manzano bananas are often prized for flavor. And here's the surprising part. Many people wait until the peel develops dark black spots before eating them. At that stage, the flavor becomes dramatically sweeter and more aromatic. A banana that looks overripe to one person may actually be perfect to someone else, and that leads directly to one of the most important bananas ever grown. Most people have never heard of Gros Michel, yet there's a good chance your grandparents did. Before the 1950s, Gros Michel dominated the global banana trade. It was larger, sweeter, and many people considered it superior to today's supermarket bananas. Then, disaster struck. A fungal disease known as Panama disease spread across plantations worldwide. Entire banana industries collapsed. Companies searched desperately for a replacement. Eventually, they found one. The Cavendish banana. The banana most people eat today. What most people don't realize is that there's an interesting story about artificial banana flavoring. It's often said that the artificial flavor was designed to imitate Gros Michel rather than Cavendish, and that's why banana candy tastes so different from real bananas. But here's what's actually true. Artificial banana flavoring was created to be cheap and versatile through laboratory synthesis in the 1800s, long before Gros Michel became popular in America. However, what is fascinating is that Gros Michel. Bananas have much higher levels of the flavoring compound called isoamyl acetate than Cavendish bananas do. So banana candy actually does taste more like the old banana than the one in your grocery store today. It's imitating a flavor from a banana most people have never tasted. But the final banana on this list may be the most important of all. The Cavendish accounts for roughly 99% of all bananas produced for export, meaning virtually all bananas in Western supermarkets belong to this single variety. It became dominant because it resisted the disease that destroyed Gros Michel plantations. For decades, it seemed like the perfect solution. Reliable, productive, easy to transport. But here's the problem. Almost every Cavendish banana is genetically identical. They're essentially clones, and that creates a dangerous vulnerability. Today, a newer strain of Panama disease is spreading through parts of Asia, Africa, and Latin America. Scientists are working to protect the banana that feeds millions of people worldwide. Because if the Cavendish disappears, history may repeat itself. And somewhere in the future, people might be explaining the Cavendish the same way we explain the Gros Michel today.